Hello and welcome to the Metronome League Week 1. We have 10 competitors who will all play each other in a round-robin group stage. Each match is a best of 3, and the top 8 of those 10 move onto a tournament bracket, shootout, and 2 will remain at the very end to see who is the Metronome League champion. Here are our matches. Today you can see them coming up on screen. Pretty simple. If you don't know what Metronome is, it is a Pokémon move that randomly picks from any move in the game, so really anyone has a shot at winning any one of these matches. First up is Jet versus Mid. Here we go. Let's see which Pokemon they bring out first. All the Pokemon were determined in a snake draft style. Away we go. We've got Love Disc going up against a Throw. Ooh, a Leech Seed from Love Disc. Match going by very quickly. Sped up Butterfree coming out for Jet. We're seeing this from Jet's point of view. A critical hit from Love Disc, who's surprisingly pulling weight with being such a weak Pokemon. One of the Pokemon on everyone's team is picked by one of the opponents in the group. And Love Disc is what was picked for Mid, bringing out Clink and takes a big hit from Butterfree. Every week there will be a different commentator. I'm commentating just for week 1, and hopefully you get to hear my voice a little bit later on. Now Butterfree has to face off against a Garchomp, and that's not going well. Big hits on both ends, and down goes Butterfree, and out comes Chuck the Throw for Jet. There's the first casualty of the match. Both are on high health. Out comes Snorlax for Mid. A Tail Whip drops Throw's defense, and a small hit on Snorlax. Snorlax is a good Pokemon to have because it is very bulky. One of the best in the Metronome League to have, but out comes Love Disc, going for a Razor Leaf. That doesn't do much. Weather Ball, also a small hit. Just chip damage over time for these two. But Love Disc gets a good hit on Throw. Throw, though, healing up. Very hard to beat here. Having moves like Aqua Ring or Ingrain really make a Pokemon tough to defeat because you never know if you're going to even be able to attack them, and every turn they're healing up. Clink takes a hit after they came out from Chuck. Tackle, not going to do much, especially against a fighting type, and a burn on Clink. That is going to be a tough one to deal with. Having a burn or being poisoned or any of those status conditions are a big deal in this league. Sometimes it's a race of attrition, just trying to outlast your opponent. Snorlax is now out for Chuck. Both of these two have been switching their Pokemon quite a lot, particularly Mid. Onto turn 21 already, out comes Garchomp. Dealing with an attack order, which does a fair bit of damage. Shore Up, though, heals Garchomp right back to full. Nice work there. Love Disc comes out, and, Spore for Chuck. Using Metronome. Shadow Ball, that's not too much damage. Out comes Snorlax. All these Pokemon are getting pretty even playing time from Mid. Not sure what the strategy is there. Mid, a rookie in this tournament, pretty new to Pokemon, so he'll still be one to watch. He has that Garchomp. Having those pseudo-legendaries, they are great ones to have on your team. And Confusion for Garchomp comes out. Clink is burned, and now the damage comes back to haunt them. Metronome, lash out that 3%. Really unable to land any big hits on Chuck. Calm Mind. Big stat boost there. Getting stat boost is also a thing you want to have. Setting up important. Snorlax is taking some good damage from Throw. Surprisingly, Leaf Storm does a fair bit. Special defense drop. Or is that attack? I honestly can't tell on the Snorlax there. Clink struggle from Chuck is forced to struggle, but that does enough damage to get Clink low enough that the burn should finish them off, but the struggle does first. Chuck now might as well just stay in and end this out. Snorlax finishes them off before they can get off that struggle to finish themselves off. Out comes your brother, the Lucario. It's always fun seeing what people come up with the names are for their Pokemon. Love Disc, all poisoned by the toxic spikes, and they'll be finished off pretty soon as well. Unless they can get a miracle to happen, and I don't think so. Your brother will finish them off with a superpower. However, maybe not what Jet was looking for, because that gives some stat drops. Garchomp, oh, those toxic spikes are really a detriment to mid. Critical hit on this shiny Ferrothorn, named Chair. I love these names. Jet always has the best. Oh, Jet in the better position here, with 2 Pokemon left on a higher health, and rough skin though, does some recoil back to Chair, but Garchomp just taking damage every turn, critical hit, and this should finish Garchomp off. One last Pokemon for mid. It is a best of 3, so even if you lose the first match, it's not everything, but definitely hard to come back from those big losses, though in a Metronome League, really anything is possible, which is the magic of it. Even if you were drafted with the worst team, Metronome allows for anybody to have a shot at victory if they're lucky enough, and it comes down to that, as we'll see later on in this league, which I can't wait till we get through. Jet finishes off the Snorlax with a Boom Burst to win the first battle. Alright, so Jet starting on top and on to the second match. Alright, can mid have a last reprieve, or will Jet be able to cleanly sweep this one? Oh, big hit for Butterfree, but they take damage in turn. They're both low right off the bat. Down goes Butterfree. What an explosive start. And out comes Love Disc, swapping the Clink, who is very low in the red. Love Disc getting a little bit of damage on the throw. Oh, an Aqua Ring. That is going to be very helpful for Jet. Those healing over time moves really help you last a long time, which is what this league can be about sometimes. 2 Pokemon that look like they're going to last. Snorlax goes to sleep. Not going to be able to do anything. Mid's going to keep him in, it seems. Just as I say that, here comes Garchomp. Ooh, a Roost. Interesting. Mystical power. Not too much there. Pretty small hits and misses coming from Chuck. Not what they're wanting. Mid not nicknaming his Pokemon. How dare you? Either way, that ability Rough Skin on Garchomp is working effectively. Love Disc comes out, though, gets some damage from a Bug Buzz. Chuck, though, that Aqua Ring, even when he gets into the yellow, gets healed up, but hits from Love Disc don't allow him to stay in the green for long. Will Love Disc be able to land more hits and finish them off? A Misty Terrain, not what they want. A Drill Run's a big hit on Love Disc, who will be swapped out in favor of a Snorlax, who remains asleep. Dragon Claw's not going to do much. Gigaton Hammer. Oh, these hits. Snorlax, they've woken up. Are they going to be able to finish off Chuck? The Aqua Ring is keeping them alive. Triple Axle hits. It's enough. Down goes the throw, and that is big in favor of mid. So mid, even though some of his Pokemon are at lower health, which is important to consider, does have the advantage in number of Pokemon. Jet only left with 2, and your brother, the Lucario, is taking some big hits. Garchomp comes out. Solar Blades, good damage for Jet. The Rough Skin slowly chips Lucario down. Could mid be on for a win here to tie it up? Oh, but your brother has something to say. Both dealing good damage and slowly chipping each other down until the end. Garchomp, the Rough Skin, hits your brother, and the Garchomp goes down. Your brother goes to sleep and goes back to full health. What a great play there. Your brother on the edge of death, but goes to sleep in the nick of time to fully heal. Opting not to switch the Lucario out as Jet, and the Lucario is slowly taking enough damage to get back there, but is awake, and this ends up working out. Oh, Snorlax with some stat boost. Flying Presses, big hits on the Snorlax. things are starting to even out here. Jet getting some okay hits. A miss on Inferno. Having misses is never what you want. X-Scissor. Nice bit of damage. Will Snorlax go down? Ferrothorn comes out here. Interesting play by Jet. I can't say I'm a Pokemon expert, so I don't really know how to analyze all these plays, but, I'll just narrate them. I don't have to explain them. Oh, a miss on the Love Disc, who is swapped out and is on low health. Oh, down goes the Love Disc. Now, things are much even, maybe in favor of Jet, who will immediately finish off the low health Clink, if you remember. From the very start of the battle, out comes Snorlax, who is red, and look at this! Chair just sweeps him! Great work there! Jet beats Mid in the first match of the day, 2-0, a sweep there. Now on to match 2, Krystal, the host of this tournament, versus Seahawk. Let's get acquainted with these teams and see how this will go. The Hisuian Zoroark coming out right out of the gate for Seahawk, whose perspective we'll be watching this battle from. Stealth Rocks from the Asian, the Plusle. Worry Seed. We got Misty Terrain out. Oh, Final Gambit! Oh, down goes Hisuian Zoroark, along with the Plusle. I don't know if that's the move Seahawk wanted to make. Hisuian Zoroark, a more favorable Pokemon there. And we've got the two Pokemon that were picked for these people, a Pansear and a Sunflora, both immediately doing big damage to each other. And in the red, Pansear is able to kill Sunflora first. Out comes Uxie, who is picked by the randomizer. Each person... So how this draft works was, in Snake Draft format, first was a Pokemon that can naturally learn Metronome, followed by a Pokemon that can't naturally learn Metronome, followed by your next Pokemon is chosen by someone else in this tournament for you, so pick a bad Pokemon, unless you're very nice. And then a randomizer. You could get any Pokemon in the game, and Seahawk was fortunate enough to end up with a mythical Pokemon, Uxie, which it'll be interesting to see how that plays out later on in the season. Could that make Seahawk a favorite as we continue to go? Well, looking back at this battle, Uxie is up against a Shuckle named Defense with spaces in between the letters. I like that. Shuckle having the health advantage, but that doesn't last a lot of stat boosts and gains on Uxie's side. That's a whole wall of text right there. Oh, confusion on the Shuckle. Being confused is not what you want in this Metronome League. That is a big hindrance. Fire Spin on the Uxie. Another thing that'll add to that wall of text for Uxie. Shuckle low on health. Frenzy Plant. Not doing what needs to be done, and Shuckle goes down to the Uxie. Out comes Krystal's signature, Shiny Sylveon, named Ribbon. Only naturally that they would have a Shiny Sylveon. Sylveon's kind of their mascot. And takes a big hit from Uxie right off the bat into yellow health. Grassy Terrain. That'll be interesting. 2-1 Pokemon now. It looks like the advantage is for Seahawk in this match, unless Krystal can bring it back with some good moves. Nope, a miss. And that's not what they want. It's not over. The Sylveon is hanging on, just barely, but I don't think this is gonna last. Sylveon looking for a healing move. Meteor Mash, not what they need. That'll end it. Seahawk is up 1-0 so far in match 2 in week 1 of the Metronome League. Let's see if there's any opening lineup changes for these two, adapting to what happened in the first match. It'll be interesting. Oh yes, we're watching from Krystal's perspective now, and brings out the Sylveon right off the bat. Now we can actually get some screen time from those people's first two Pokemon, since they were killed by a Final Gambit very quickly there. Hisuian Zoroark is the obstacle that Acacia will have to face here. Ribbon taking big hits from the Hisuian Zoroark, but dealing big hits as well. The sun is out, and out go both of the Pokemon. Here comes the Asian, the Plusle, and Sunflora. Seahawk not nicknaming their Pokemon. Big hit on the Asian, but the Asian cannot respond to Sunflora doing little bits of damage. Sunflora ending this one pretty quickly. Out comes the Pansear. An unfavorable Pokemon, but doing favorable amounts of damage. The Sunflora struggling to face it. At half health, though, pretty quick here. Down goes the Sunflora. Now the real star of the show, Uxie. Spirit Shackle is super effective, but even a super effective hit from a Pansear is not going to do much against a mythical Pokemon. Pansear, I believe, was picked by the random generator for Acacia. Not what you want. Sometimes it is not kind to you, and Uxie will finish the Pansear off. Out comes Shuckle, Acacia's last Pokemon, and it's not looking good for them. This could be another 2-0 sweep on this trajectory against the Uxie. Shuckle, though, is being set up well to last. Will it happen? Critical hit is not able to do much damage. Does get a stat drop on Shuckle. Even super effective hits from the Shuckle are really not able to do much to Uxie. And defense goes to sleep. Oh, a Leech Life. That'll marginally heal up Uxie back to green at least. But a hit from the Shuckle waking up on swift wings puts the Uxie back to another super effective hit that does almost nothing from Shuckle. Needs to get something going. Accuracy drop on defense. That is going to be tough for them to deal with. Throat Chop. Oh, that is going to be another obstacle, making this more and more difficult for Krystal to pull out a win in match 1. That being said, there are quite a few weeks of this, but starting off strong is definitely what you want to do, and giving good impressions, making others view you as a threat right off the bat, is definitely the mark you want to leave. Uxie is on low health. Can Shuckle finish them off? Not quite. Uxie looking for a heal. Has to struggle now, and they're done. It's going to be a 1v1. Oh, it looks like we lost some of the footage, and Krystal was in fact able to pull out that win, which brings us to round 3. Sorry about that, everyone. Alright, Sunflora and Pansear off the bat, doing small damage to each other. Recovering, that's not the right time. Out comes the Sun, maybe to the advantage of, well, both maybe. Sunflora getting some good damage on Pansear. Paralyzed, though. The paralysis is another status condition you want to look out for. Do not want to be inflicted by that. Generally, you just want to get your Pokemon out if it's in that spot. On Sunflora, for a second time in a row, cannot move. That is tough, but can on this turn against a Shuckle, which Krystal has swapped for. We're watching from Seahawk's perspective again. Dealing a super effective hit, but the super effective hit's really not much when it's coming from a Pokemon that has such weak stats. Sunflora was picked by another person, and I mean, I am competing in this tournament. It's kind of weird commentating and competing in this thing. Like, do you separate yourself from the actual, when commentating your own match, do you talk about yourself competing there like it's a different person? No, I did pick that Sunflora for Seahawk. Oh, let's see if my plan worked. Anyways, back to the match and away from my breaking the fourth wall, so to speak. Shuckle and Sunflora, and they are both low here. Can Sunflora finish this off? No, not at all. Oh, big boost for Shuckle. No retreat. That is a good move if they can last, but they can't. Out comes Pansear against a weakened Sunflora, and that is an easy KO. The amount of Pokemon in this match slowly dwindling. The first match of the day that is gone, and of the tournament, I suppose, that has gone to a third round within the round. Hisuian Zoroark beats the Pansear here. Down goes Pansear. Now it's the Asian, who has had a terrible time in these first 2 battles, has a decent hit on Hisuian Zoroark, who gets a big stat boost. That is definitely what you want, and the Asian goes to sleep. Alright, interesting strategy there. Shift gear, more stat boost for this Hisuian Zoroark, who has the opportunity to continue building and instead does a big hit to the Asian, who's on low health. Gets a hit off on Hisuian Zoroark, but that'll be the only hit they get off as they're done. Now it's a 3v1, and it's all up to Ribbon, the shiny Sylveon, for Krystal. What can they do here? Not much. Phantom Force right off the bat. A Torment on the Sylveon. Oh, this is going to be tough to overcome here. It's looking like a win for Seahawk, and yeah, Ribbon is forced to struggle because of that. And this will be the end. A super effective hit. Down goes the Hisuian Zoroark onto the Uxie. Forced to struggle. Yeah, it's not going to do enough damage. Pound finishes the job. Congratulations to Seahawk, who in a 2-1 victory will win the second match of the day. That's your point scoring system. Winning gives you +3 points. We'll get into that later on. Biscuit versus Ore in the third match of the day. Let's see how this one plays out. Here the teams decide who you're rooting for. We're ready to go. We're watching from Ore's perspective on this one, who leads with a Smeargle against Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet? Why not? Oh, the names are great in this. Judgment to anyone who doesn't nickname their Pokemon. Anyways. Small damage. Off the bat, a Solar Blade. Not enough damage on the Wobbuffet. Tar Shot magically bounces back, and the stat drops go on to Smeargle. Big hit there. Eliminates Smeargle, and out comes Roaring Moon, who looks ridiculous in this sprite. Big hit from the Roaring Moon. We're getting big hits early, and the Wobbuffet holding on. No. Down goes Wobbuffet, and out comes How do you say that Pokemon's name? Everybody pronounces that breed of dog around the world differently. I don't even know how I pronounce it, but I'm just going to refer to it by its actual name, Good Boy, which is much more fun. Up against the Starmie, it is super effective hit. Snarmie at half HP opts to switch into Dusknoir, a very intimidating Pokemon in this Metronome League. Dusknoir was the first pick, I believe. We'll see if that shows. Facing off against Good Boy, not able to do much damage. I believe that Dusknoir does have Cursed Body. We'll see if that plays into things later on. Cursed Body in the Metronome League is an ability you want to watch out for, because it'll disable the using Metronome on that Pokemon while the Pokemon that caused the Cursed Body is still on the battlefield, I believe. So if you save your Cursed Body Pokemon till the end, it can be very scary, because you can't just switch out a Pokemon that's been Cursed Bodied, and they're forced to struggle, which usually ends up in a loss for you. Alright, back to the match at hand, and as Dusknoir still up against Good Boy, not able to do much damage to each other, getting some stat drops on the Dusknoir. Good Boy slowly being chipped down and in the red at this point. Kowtow Cleave! That's a big hit on Dusknoir. Dusknoir is now low. Can Good Boy finish the job? No. Not yet, at least. Quick attack from the Dusknoir. Metronome Wonder Room. We'll see how that plays into things. Metronome Poison Jab. Oh, Dusknoir is also very low. It is close between the two. Who will blink first? Struggle from Good Boy will end their run in this match. Dusknoir is low. Fuck Corviknight. I don't know if I should be swearing in this, but that's the name, so I suppose I'm obligated to say it. Yeet the Child immediately comes out. I don't know if bringing out Fuck Corviknight was a mistake there, but Yeet the Child, the Dragapult pseudo-legendaries are always scary in Metronome League. Comes out, Mudslap, trying to just finish the Dusknoir off. So many stat drops, just a wall of text right there. Dragapult wants to finish off the job, but it's getting difficult. Yeet the Child. Oh, out comes Starmie. Switch with Dusknoir, Starmie taking that hit for the Dusknoir. Both of these two Pokemon are low, getting towards the end of this match, and it's looking pretty even, but maybe slightly in favor of Orr. What will that do? Oh, resisted and just holding on is Starmie. Getting a good stat boost. Stone Edge, they're both so low. Who will go down first? Hypnosis misses. Starmie surfs and down goes Yeet the Child. Final Pokemon is the Tinkaton named Fuck Corviknight. Missing is the Starmie. And that'll be the end of Starmie's run. 2 Pokemon left. Dusknoir is low. Those rocks on the battlefield. Oh, another hit from Fuck Corviknight, and that ends Dusknoir. It's a 1v1, both on high health. Who is it going to be? This is one of the closest matches we've seen so far in the Metronome League. Getting some hits. Oh, struggling though is Fuck Corviknight. Oh, that might be the end of their run. Mega Punch struggles, not gonna do enough. Mega Punch also lowering Fuck Corviknight's health. And Orr wins the first match. We watch from Biscuit's point of view going against Orr. Will they employ different strategies? Wobbuffet came out first, and they both use the same Pokemon this time around. Will it play out the same way? We'll have to see. Wobbuffet getting the early hit. Not too much damage on both ends. Getting a stat drop, though. Good for Smeargle. Definitely getting stat drops on your opponent is what you are looking for. Inflicting with status conditions. And big stat drops. Definitely what you're looking for here. Smeargle, definitely on lower health, and out comes Dusknoir. I think, yeah, they were dragged out. And I don't know, what will Orr do about this situation? Not what they had in mind. How will they deal with it? Whoa, a big hit's how they deal with it. And away with Wobbuffet. Smeargle coming onto the battlefield. And that Sticky Web lowering the special defense, I believe that was. As soon as they come onto the battlefield. A useful entry hazard to have. Smeargle getting some stat boosts. Head Smash will nullify all that, though. A little bit of recoil, but the heal up nullifies that. Out comes Starmie for Orr, who is struggling so far in this battle, it feels like. Even though they are even. And switching, Good Boy comes out. Good Boy the Daxbun. That's how I'm going to say it. Against Starmie here, both on high health. Metronome flying up, so that attack from Starmie will miss. Daxbun does a little bit of damage with that fly. Triple arrows resisted, so it's not going to do much damage here. Cotton Guard is a nice thing to have. Big defense boost, and it makes you stone solid, very hard to kill. That sounded a little bit of sus when I was talking. Anyways, Starmie's skill swap, switching their abilities. Hex does some good damage. Now at about half health, just getting into the yellow now, are both of these Pokemon. Weather Ball, doing a little bit of damage there. Stored Power, same thing. And down goes Good Boy with a nice hit from Starmie. Mold Breaker. Fuck Corviknight, the Tinkaton has proven to be a useful Pokemon so far, but a big hit from Starmie, along with a burn, will change the course of this match potentially. A big hit from Fuck Corviknight in response, but that ends their run on the battlefield. Starmie's low, Yeet the Child's paralyzed, too much is happening to commentate. Down goes the Starmie, out comes Dusknoir, the stat drops happen, pressure, strength sap as well. Oh, that heals them up to full. And switching to Fuck Corviknight, who is burned. That could change the course of this match. This, I think, puts the advantage back into the court of Orr. Looking for some big hits is Biscuit here, but the burn will end them soon, trying to get something big. Earthquake, critical hit, still not that much damage. Psy Strike lowers them, burn will not do enough. Fuck Corviknight will have one more chance here, does some damage, but it's not a lot. And Oh, a miss. Burn doesn't quite finish them off. They have one more try. Does a stat drop, and Flame Wheel finishes the job. Last but not least, Yeet the Child the Dragapult, facing off against Dusknoir, but having to overcome paralysis. Oh, disabled! Cursed Body coming into effect. That's the ability. Body coming into effect. That's the ability that Dragapult has, and that forces a switch from Dusknoir. Great work there. Roaring Moon on the battlefield, having to deal with some stat drops now. Yeet the Child overcoming paralysis, hoping to get rid of it soon. Mach Punch doing a little bit of damage. Needs to get some big hits in. Here comes Dusknoir. Oh, so much damage on the battlefield from those entry hazards. Stat drops galore. Acid armor from the Dragapult. Final Gambit. Oh, immune. So it didn't come into effect, but that would have been a win for Or if that happened. Roaring Moon goes down. Dusknoir is low and dealing with stat drops. And Or, I think, have played his hand wrong here. Biscuit is in the advantage, and unless there's a big hit, might just win this. Dusknoir, very low, looking for one last hit. It doesn't come, and Biscuit wins the match, tying it up 1-1. So they go into a third match to determine the winner of this. The advantage in that battle changed by the second. That was definitely an exciting one to watch, and they lead with the same Pokemon, which has led to each of them winning once. How will it happen in the third time around? Really is all chalked up to chance and who luck is in favor of in each match. Even if you get destroyed in one match, it's possible to come back greatly in the next. Turning our attention back to this third match in this round, Wobbuffet versus Smeargle right now. Some stat drops on Smeargle. Both are pretty high health here, and not much is happening. Confuse Ray, not going to happen there. Shadow Force, immune is Smeargle. Scale Shot, that does practically nothing. Recover, and Wobbuffet's back to full health. Nice play right there. Magic Bounce, and it's back to Smeargle. Magic Bounce is a great ability to have in this. It's proved very useful, even though the problem with that is Wobbuffet has been unable to last so far in these Metronome matches, and that seems like it could be the thing to change here. Smeargle is on low health and is dealing with a lot of stat drops. Wobbuffet is dominating them at this point, and health-wise as well, due to that recover. One's in the yellow and one's in the green. Into the red now is Smeargle, and the Sandstorm buffets them. Can Smeargle last enough to do some damage? A super effective hit, but it does almost nothing. Discharge, and Smeargle's run in this match. So the early advantage goes to Biscuit. Quiver Dance, nice from Starmie. Those stat boosts are helpful. A little bit of damage there from Wobbuffet. Water Pledge does some good damage on Wobbuffet. Good moves by the Starmie. And Wobbuffet is not really able to respond right here. Every attack from Starmie is doing significant amounts of damage, and Wobbuffet is just not able to mount that challenge and do it to the same degree, and goes down here. We're evened up 3-3 in terms of the amount of Pokemon each person has. Rapid Spin from Good Boy. Growl. Soak now, making Starmie a pure water type. I believe that's how that works. That turns you into just a water type and removes the psychic type. I'm not sure if that's good or bad for Biscuit here. Confused now is Starmie. Coldor hoping to get something out of this Starmie before it perishes, but that won't be the case. Out comes Dusknoir, who has felt like a really threatening force, but hasn't really been able to do much so far in these two matches. Will that change here? Poison Tail. Good Boy is only able to do incremental amounts of damage. Same for Dusknoir here. Only little bits of damage each. Resisted hits each has a stat drop as well. Slightly better health is the Dusknoir, but Biscuit has the additional Pokemon when Ore is only on his penultimate. Water Spout, it's a little bit of damage, but switches to Roaring Moon. Interestingly, Meteor Mash does a decent bit of damage. Magnet Rise, Floats will be immune to ground-type moves, and Roaring Moon is able to get some good hits in, but is quickly switched to Dusknoir, I assume to deal with those stat drops. Bind, but is immune. Being a Ghost type in this is really useful, having Steel and Ghost types, because Ghost is immune to so many things, and often has Cursed Body, like you see with Dragapult or Gengar, which you'll see later on. And the immunities for Ghost type, being immune to fighting, but more importantly, normal type moves, and there's a lot of them, and a lot of important ones in the Metronome League. And down goes Docbun. Tinkaton comes out. Hypnosis can't be put to sleep. Meteor Mash misses. Not much on that term. Fury Attack immune. Looks like we're getting a repeat here. It's practically a repeat of last turn. Almost nothing on foot Corviknight, and things are really even up, but a nice hit from Dusknoir leans things slightly in favor, but not for long. Paralysis on Dusknoir. Looking more favorable for fuck Corviknight right now. Dusknoir dealing with a U-turn. Dragapult comes out named Yeet the Child, and that paralysis, it gets to Dusknoir and is unable to move. Worry Seed comes out now is Tinkaton. Paralyzed is Dusknoir, not able to do anything. Not really much happening right now, and the paralysis, this is just hurting Dusknoir. Getting some stat drops now. Rock Throw, not much damage. Psycho Cut, also not that much damage. Really small hits in this match, and it is a longer match. We're almost 40 minutes into this, and we still have 2 more matches to go. Speed Swap. Aurora Beam, such small hits. Reflect type. That's interesting. Dusknoir is no longer a Ghost type. Now has the type of Tinkaton, and I don't think that's what they want. Now is not immune to any of those moves and is taking bigger hits as a result of that switch. Dusknoir is getting low. Can't deal big hits to fuck Corviknight the Tinkaton. And low are both of them in the red. Can the Tinkaton finish it off for Biscuit? Tinkaton finish it off for Biscuit? Yes. Now, but they die from the recoil. It's a 1v1. Roaring Moon versus Yeet the Child. Who will do it here? Super effective hits, but they're not much damage on Roaring Moon. Calm Mind, stat boost for Roaring Moon. That'll be very helpful here. Color lost the second match, won the first handily, and is trying to bring it back and redeem themselves, but can't do it here. Biscuit says no, gets a big hit on the Roaring Moon, who is getting lower and lower. Yeet the Child dominating them at this point. These two dragon types going head to head, and I think this might be over. Yeet the Child with stat boosts galore. Struggle does good damage, but no. Biscuit wins. Lost the first match, but brought it back in the next 2 and comes out triumphant over Ore. Definitely the way you want to start out your Metronome League. Winning 2 matches, or winning 2 and not losing any is better for your overall record than losing one of those matches, but still winning no matter what is still the bigger thing. Alright, so it's Lapis versus Maisie now. Interesting teams, Cherry Cola, the Shiny Ludicolo versus Audiobook the Audino. How will this match go? Leafage, the early damage is in favor of Lapis, whose perspective we're watching from. Immune to the Ghost type moves. Dealing some good hits on Cherry Cola. Both pretty small hits. Zing Zap's a nice one to get. Now, in the yellow is the Ludicolo. In the previous Metronome tournament, Maisie and Lapis were the 2 people who did not move on, so this is their chance for redemption. So you have pretty good odds of moving on overall. 8 out of 10 move on, and you're seeded in the tournament based on your rank overall. So first gets to play 8, so you do get an advantage of being the number 1 team. Out comes Mr. Kelly, the Delmise. Is not affected by Mach Punch. Ludicolo went down there. I failed to narrate that part. Oh, we got a Perish song. I'm assuming these Pokemon will want to switch out soon. Because if they don't, they will both perish. Getting some great stat boosts is Mr. Kelly. Perishing next turn, they switch out. Mr. Kelly staying in. Out comes Hydrant the Hydreigon, and so I don't know what the strategy was. Maybe they were unable to switch, and I couldn't see, but they died to the Perish Song while being on high health. Out comes the Cast Form for Maisie, who is poisoned immediately. It takes a big hit from Hydreigon. This is not looking good for Maisie here, who's on only 2 Pokemon, and the poison will finish off Hail Yeah the Cast Form on swift wings. Hydrant the Hydreigon. Great for Lapis, who is performing better than expected maybe here. Bottom of the barrel last tournament, not to rag on Lapis or anything, but this is a great redemption so far. 2 Dragon-type pseudo-legendaries out on battle. Shiny Kommo-o for Maisie. Hydrant is poisoned while on low health. They'll have one... No, they won't have another turn. Down they go. Out comes Audiobook, who is fully healed from that switch. Circle Throw, but there is no other Pokemon left for Maisie, so they have to stay in. Kommo-o is a tough Pokemon to beat, and Lapis, despite having the Pokemon advantage, might not have the stronger Pokemon, so I might say the advantage might be in Maisie's court now. Super effective hit, though doesn't do much damage to the Audiobook. The Audiobook. On turn 26 here, in match number 4 of 5 in week 1 of the Metronome League, hosted by Acacia, who's done a great job preparing that. Thank you so much to them for putting all this together. Hope you are all enjoying watching this as well, and I'll be enjoying watching these back. Alright, Audiobook low here. Kommo-o is low too. Audiobook has been pulling their weight and getting some good hits. Can they finish them off? Another good hit. Kommo-o wants to get this Audino out of the way so they can get to the last Metapod, but they can't. Audiobook's gone though. Here comes Giga Chad the Metapod, trying to finish this battle off. Light screen. Giga Chad, Kommo-o, who will win this? Magical Leaf is not quite enough. Kommo-o holding on by the skin of their teeth. Frost Breath is a big hit. Tides are turning here. Trying to finish them off. They'll do just enough, and Lapis wins. Congratulations to them. And on we go to match 2, which we'll watch from the perspective of Maisie, who starts off with the Shiny Delmise, who died to a Perish Song last time and takes a huge hit off the bat here. This Delmise is not able to last. Going up against Hydrant the Hydreigon, which is a tough opponent to be sure. And down goes Mr. Kelly from a gust. Hail Yeah, the Cast Form comes out and takes a big hit from Hydreigon off the bat. Rapid Spin can't match that. Does get a stat boost. Coaching. Spirit Shackle resisted. Hydrant just... Oh! Sacred Sword! Piercing through Hail Yeah, leaving them with really no other options than to die here. Hail Yeah left on low HP, hoping that they know they're going to go down, but hoping to get off some damage before they come out, but they're swapped forcibly, and out comes Kommo-o, who's taking some hits. Aurora Beam's a nice move there to get some good damage on Hydrant, who is weak to it. Hydrant has been a great mon so far for Lapis, but might go down to the Kommo-o here. These two definitely proving to be each one of their aces, and Hydrant is defeated by the Kommo-o from Maisie pretty handily. Out comes Flying Bitch Kit. Am I reading it? Yeah, the Togekiss, who we lost out on seeing in that last match. And switches to Audiobook now. I think I missed what happened to the Togekiss. Something must have happened very quickly that did not allow them to battle in that last match. Apologies for missing things. The text on screen is pretty small for me to see, and I'm not a Pokemon expert by any means. Out comes Hail Yeah going up against Audiobook. Two meme Pokemon here. Metronome does some good hit on Audiobook, and Hail Yeah going down here. Dragon Breath boosting Audiobook and opting not to finish off the cast form. Oh, but the weather does. Out comes Komodo and leaving that shiny Ludicolo to last. It was coming out now. Audiobook defeats Komodo immediately. Fisher, oh, that would have been scary. Mega Kick, good hit on Audiobook, but the numbers advantage is definitely in the court of Lapis. 3 Pokemon to just Cherry Cola, the shiny Ludicolo, trying to carry Maisie to make a comeback like was done by Biscuit in the last match, but on this trajectory it's not happening. Does get a KO on Audiobook, but here comes the Togekiss, and this is going to be one that's hard to overcome. Flying Bitch Kid. Oh, these names. Oh, Toxic Poison, that'll be the end of the line. Unless Cherry Cola can get some big hits very quickly. It's not going to happen. This will be the end. Last turn. It's the end. Congrats to Lapis, who sweeps Maisie handily here. Alright, now on to our final match of the day. Who will come out triumphant in this one? It's Batz versus Mercy. I guess I'll talk about myself in the third person for the sake of this match. Alright, we've got Mercy leading off with the Grimmsnarl named Mr. Dream, and Batz leading off with Squashing Man the Metagross. Getting some big boosts is Mr. Dream, but Squashing Man able to do some good damage off the bat. Metronome Shadow Claw gets some good hits on Mr. Dream, and the advantage is squarely in the court of Batz, but a big hit coming from Grimmsnarl. Evens the tables, and maybe just straight back into the court of Mercy. And they're both very low, and Squashing Man blinks first. Out comes Prankster, the shiny Meowstic, but that was quickly switched. I think that was a mistake there doing that, as their Prankster is not able to affect dark types like this Grimmsnarl is. Now it's Hot Dog Lover the Indeedee, and this is my dream. Dragonite, the Revolutionary, the Dragonite, comes out to deal with that hit to resist it. Iron Hammer, big hit, and Revolutionary is gone just like that. My dream is holding on here, and even on 1 HP is dealing big hits. Hot Dog Lover needs to get rid of this obstacle, and there we go. The recoil finishes them off here. But wow, out comes Gyarados, named Bouncy. Drain Punch, another big hit, and Mercy is looking very strong so far. Batz is going to need to do something to recover at this point. Scratch, not the damage they're looking for. Guillotine, oh my goodness, and down goes Indeedee just like that, only leaving Prankster with a smiley face on the end. The shiny Meowstic, and I don't know if they're going to be able to bring this back here. 3 Pokemon to 1 does get a burn on Bouncy, which is good. Will slowly chip them away, but is going to need a miracle. Mega Explosion, and that ends the life of Gyarados, and now we're on to Periodic Smack. Could the tables be turning just a little bit here? Ooh, not the hit they were looking for. Heavy Slam, another big hit on Prankster. Icicle Spear, not doing the damage. Rock Slide will end this match. Mercy starts off 1-up against Batz with a commanding lead. Now on to match 2. How will things go here? Almost at the 50-minute mark so far. Squashing Man and My Dreams come out again. How will it fare this time, though? Big hit on both of them. They lowered each other's health immediately here, and switching to Hot Dog Lover is Batz. We're watching from the perspective of here. Sunny Day. Water Shuriken, not doing much here. Guard Split. Toxic Spikes. Ooh, that is not something you want to have. Toxic Spikes deal damage to everybody who comes out, except Metagross, of course. Will be immune to that because he's a Steel type. Dragon Pulse. Nice hit from my dreams. Mud Slap. Oh, lowering the accuracy. Dragon Claw does some good damage on Hot Dog Lover, who's struggling here. Poison Powder, though, is nice for Batz. My dreams is going to have to overcome that, and is now on a ticking time, is like a ticking time bomb. There's only so much life left there. Fake Tears, more stat drops. My dreams being lowered into yellow HP. They're at similar health amounts. Terrain Pulse, nothing happens there. And opposite switch to Swoobat, named who we didn't even see in the last match because Mercy won so badly. Well, so handily. Terra Blast, lowering Hot Dog Lover, who's just trying to survive. Maybe just get a few more good hits in before their inevitable death. Hot Dog Lover on low health gets a few hits on who? I'm going to say like that every time. Who? Hot Dog Lover setting up. Excel Rock finishes them off. Out comes Revolutionary the Dragonite, who's also immune to those entry hazards because they're a flying type. Gets some good hits on who? Mega Horn, nothing there. Poison Gas, also poisoning who? That poison is seeming to be Batz's strong suit here, and who will not have much longer left to live, and that's it. Now out comes Bouncy the Gyarados. Big hit right off the bat with a Rock Tomb. And Mercy is struggling in this match after winning so strongly, but big stat boost for Bouncy. None for Revolutionary. All tormented. Oh, yikes. Gonna want to switch out, probably. Or just, I guess, struggle to finish off the Gyarados. That's an option too. My Dreams is coming out poisoned. And a super effective hit. And that's the end of Revolutionary. 2-2 here. But My Dreams is low and poisoned. Squashing Man the Metagross. Out they come. My Dreams ticking damage. Mystical Fire is a big hit on Squashing Man. That's super effective. But Grimmsnarl goes down. Now it's Periodic Smack versus Squashing Man. And Prankster also in the back for Batz. Pluck. Not doing much there. Triple Arrows. Big hit on Periodic Smack. Sandtomb. Another big hit. Squashing Man is proving to be an ace here. The only non-dragon pseudo-legendary. They should make more. Gigaton Hammer does some damage. Periodic Smack is low, though, taking damage with the Sandtomb. And this, I'm going to say like that every time. Who? Hot Dog Lover setting up. Excel Rock finishes them off. Out comes Revolutionary the Dragonite, who's also immune to those entry hazards because they're a flying type. Gets some good hits on who? Mega Horn, nothing there. Poison Gas, also poisoning who? That poison is seeming to be Batz's strong suit here, and who will not have much longer left to live, and that's it. Now out comes Bouncy the Gyarados. Big hit right off the bat with a Rock Tomb, and Mercy is struggling in this match after winning so strongly, but big stat boost for Bouncy. None for Revolutionary. All tormented. Oh, yikes. Gonna want to switch out, probably. Or just, I guess, struggle to finish off the Gyarados. That's an option too. My Dreams is coming out poisoned. And a super effective hit. And that's the end of Revolutionary. 2-2 here. But My Dreams is low and poisoned. Squashing Man the Metagross. Out they come. My Dreams ticking damage. Mystical Fire is a big hit on Squashing Man. That's super effective. But Grimmsnarl goes down. Now it's Periodic Smack versus Squashing Man. And Prankster also in the back for Batz. Pluck. Not doing much there. Triple Arrows. Big hit on Periodic Smack. Sandtomb. Another big hit. Squashing Man is proving to be an ace here. The only non-dragon pseudo-legendary. They should make more. Gigaton Hammer does some damage. Periodic Smack is low, though, taking damage with the Sand Tomb. And this will be a win for Batz. Last turn, Freeze Dry, not gonna do much. And Squashing Man lets Periodic Smack finish itself off. Batz wins the second match, and we're tied up now. On to the third. Who will win the final match of the day, or of the week, before we move on to week 2? Let's go. Who? The Swoobat facing Squashing Man, who gets confused off the bat. Gets a false swipe on Who. Growl, not effective because of the clear body. The confusion goes away very quickly, luckily for Squashing Man. Getting some good stat boosts is Who. Tomb! And those stat boosts won't matter because Who is dead. Periodic Smack takes a big hit from Squashing Man. This Metagross has been finishing off Pokemon. Dragon Rush is a nice hit for Periodic Smack, and that flinches Squashing Man. Magnet Rise makes Periodic Smack a move to ground types, which would have been good, but is gone here. Mercy running out of Pokemon very fast in this last match. Grimmsnarl gets switched for Bouncy. Rock Blast is missed. That would have killed the Gyarados. Victory Dance gets some good stat boosts. Soft Boiled heals Squashing Man right back up to full. Squashing Man will be tough for anyone to overcome. And a big hit from Thunderfang. Squashing Man just annihilating Bouncy right here. And after losing the first match by a long shot, Batz is in the driver's seat to win it here. Bouncy's down. It's just Grimmsnarl. Thrash is another big hit. Grimmsnarl does heal right back up. Thrash again. Oh, my dreams low. This might be the end of this. Squashing Man, the MVP of this match. My dreams trying to hold on here. Switching abilities. Oh, Squashing Man, though. Because now has Prankster, cannot hit My Dreams, so is going to have to swap out. Unable to win with Squashing Man is Batz. Unable to do the full sweep. So out comes Revolutionary. Super effective hit. My Dreams looking for the hits, but needs a miracle, and a miracle is not what happens here. Batz wins the final match of the day to defeat Mercy 2-1. Thank you all so much for watching this week of the Metronome Battle League. It's been fun to participate in. Here comes the overall standings. Hope you all enjoyed. It's been fun to play in, and we'll see you all next time. So long, everyone. And don't forget to keep on rolling.